So thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Kevin Baird, and I'm with my colleagues from Media Education. We're going to talk about how we look into social emotional readiness using a tool called Rhithm. We are all storytellers. That's what educators do. And learning is really centered on the daily story of the classroom. Every day, we are making a new movie with our students. That's what we do. And our stories are unique. We know that really powerful stories are stories that are relevant to our students, that connect with our communities, that connect with our students themselves. But each of us as educators has had a day like this, where no matter what we did, no matter how much we differentiated instruction, no matter which tools we took out of our teacher's tool bag, we just didn't connect. Sometimes we didn't connect with one student. Maybe we've had a challenge connecting with that student all day or all year or all week. Sometimes we're just not making a hit movie today in our classroom. Everything seems kind of off. There has never been a more critical time to understand why a student isn't connecting, why the classroom isn't connecting so that I can respond. Think about it. If my students are away from me, if they're on Zoom, if they're learning digitally, it can be so much more difficult to really get a sense of where they're at and what they need and why they might not be connecting. Questions like, how do you feel today? Hunger is an unseen barrier to learning. Maybe I'm just not engaged because my stomach is rumbling, or I might not be feeling well. And by the way, it isn't just that I might not be feeling well, but I could have something called illness behavior where I'm feeling sick because others around me are feeling sick. How's my social life going today? We've all had those moments where we have conflict or disagreement that's literally taking up our brain space, right? So it's really hard to get into what's going on in the classroom because I'm thinking about a fight I had with my parents or with my siblings or with my peers. And how's your energy today and why? Are our students not engaged because they're exhausted, because they're tired? Maybe their parents were up fighting all night, or maybe they're having some kind of anxiety disorder, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe they're taking monster drinks out of the refrigerator and they're out of control. These are unseen barriers to learning. I want you to imagine a social emotional X-ray that allows us to look into each child and gives us in the moment information about what they need to help them connect. That's what Rhithm is. It's an online tool. It's super easy. Kids can go in with one click. They don't have to sign in again if you have single sign-on, and it only takes a minute. For an emoji-based check-in focused on that social emotional readiness to engage. It's designed for students, but it can be used for adults. It's actually licensed for everyone in the school building, and it can be used multiple times a day. Best practice is to take it as attendance and then take it a few times a day, for instance, after lunch. That in the moment information is going to help us not just to differentiate our instruction, but to differentiate our connection with our students, their experience. And students can have an optional 1 to 2 minute activity based upon the AI in the system to help them to get into rhythm. If they are out of control, it will calm them down. If they're low energy, it will bring them up. We've all had that brick wall between ourselves and making an amazing lesson inside of the classroom, something that's engaging and relevant. Rhithm helps us to see into the invisible barriers as well. Real-time and customizable analytics help us understand, do our kids need to collaborate today? They're in a more collaborative space. I need to bring their energy up. I have a student who needs a one-on-one touch point. Something's going on. My kids need some energy. They're low E. Let's do some jumping jacks. Let's walk around the room. Let's get up and get moving so my brain is working. Or I have a student who would be better off working independently today because they are not in a social mood. I can see in multiple times a day to the student's needs. And when a student is having incredible needs, I can get ahead of the anxiety and the trauma before something tragic happens. This is an example of a real-time alert. The student wrote, I feel like my brain is going to pop open. The AI is so sensitive, it indicated to the teacher immediately, you should check into this child. And it kept indicating to the teacher until the teacher said, hey, I've checked in, I cleared the alert. Again, just 1 minute can get ahead before something really tragic happens. Statewide, district-wide, school-wide, into each classroom, I can see where I'm more likely to see hunger, where I'm more likely to see kids who are anxious or at risk. And for students who are disruptive in class, for students who today, I really don't have a lot of options but to remove them from the class, remove them, ask them to go to the office, I actually have something that I can do to bring them back into rhythm. I can ask them to take a minute and go do a rhythm check-in, go do a rhythm activity. Rhythm is clinically shown to bring students back into an energetic mode where they are ready to engage. This is the actual schoolhouse where I went to school on the high plains of Wyoming. It's the Dry Creek Schoolhouse. When I was there, all the grades together, one room, I would have never imagined that my kids were actually learning in the living room online, but they are. And the reality is that for our students who are at home, we don't have the same kind of connection. Rhythm allows us to connect in a different way using a digital tool to see in. Rhythm helps every teacher come alongside every student to see their needs in the moment. And that's actually what Meteor Education does. Meteor Education comes alongside our partners to help them see what needs to happen in the learning environment, to make it a high impact experience for their kids and teachers, and even to improve things like the air quality inside the classroom so that asthmatic students or students with allergies, or for if we're fearful about things like viruses, we're making sure we're cleaning that air. Meteor has come alongside our partners at Rhythm and our funding partners to provide site and student-based pricing that is CARES Act appropriate. It includes remote professional learning, and right now, the underwriting takes it to less than half price. I think this is our Apollo 13 moment. That's Captain Jim Lovell. This is the moment where, just like Apollo 13, when we have a spaceship out in space and it's in trouble, we can come together as that team in Houston. We can connect to see what the students need. And my colleague, Kim Bolser at meteoreducation.com can get you a demo, take you into a deeper dive, or get you connected with districts that are using the solution as a reference. It's just 1 minute. That 1 minute can be the difference between boredom and finding a passion with support. Or even more importantly, 1 minute could be the difference between anxiety and trauma that I never see and I never address, to instead bridging that child to resolution and getting them ready to learn again. I think there has never been a more important time to make sure that all of our students and our teachers are in rhythm. Thanks for being here.